Hello everyone, I am back again. Sunday with Vedant. I am Vedant Patel. Today I am going to read this story, The Elephant's Child. But first I am going to show you when I began. Retold by Miles Kelly. In the high, far-off times, the elephant had no trunk, only a buggy nose as big as a hood. He could wriggle it from side to side, but he couldn't pick anything up with it. But there was one elephant child who was full of satiable curiosity. That means he asked ever so many questions. He asked his tall uncle, the giraffe, what made his skin spotty, and his uncle cuffed him with his hard hoof. He asked the hairy uncle, the baboon, why melons taste very just so, and his uncle pinched him with his hairy paw. He asked his broad aunt the hippo why her eyes were red, and his aunt splashed him with her broad hoof. But still he was full of satiable curiosity. One day the elephant child asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? But all his family just said hush to the elephant's tail. Went to Colo bird and asked, what does the crocodile have for dinner? Go to the banks of the great greasy Limpopo river and find out, said the bird. So the next morning, the satiable elephant's child set off find the great green grassy Limpopo river. Goodbye. Now this satiable elephant's child had never seen a crocodile and did not know what one was like. The first creature that he found as a bee-colored python rock snake curled round a rock. Sus me, said the elephant's child. But have you seen such a thing as a crocodile around here? Then could you tell me what he has for dinner? But instead of the answering, the snake gave the elephant's child a sharp slap with his saclonsome flatsome tail, very sharp tail. If a python bites you, it pains. If he bites with here, you will bleed. If he don't bite from there, he will bite from here. Then nothing will happen to us. But be careful of pythons. Further on, the elephant's child trod on what looked like a big log at the edge of a Limpopo river, but it was really the crocodile. "Excuse me," said the elephant's child. "Have you seen such a thing as a crocodile round here?" The crocodile said, "I am the crocodile." "Then will you tell me what you have for dinner?" gasped the elephant's child. "Come close and I'll whisper," said the crocodile. The elephant's child put her ear to the crocodile's musky, tusky mouth. "But first I'm going to show you my page. Look." At once, the crocodile caught the elephant's child by his little nose. Then look what will happen. Today I will begin with elephant's child. "Let go the elephant's child," said Peking thought this. "You are hurting me." Look now what happened. Look, he bited nose. Can you see here? He bited his nose. Let's see what will happen next. And look, now the whatever his trunk came out, his trunk was jointed like that. Look what happened to it. I am so funny. What happened? The elephant's child nose came out like a rope. Then the snake came and knotted himself in a double clove hitch around the elephant's child's hind legs. They both pulled together. At last, the crocodile let go the elephant's child's nose with a plop that you could hear from the miles around. Look now what happened. Splash! Like that. Splash! The elephant's child wrapped his poor nose in banana leaves and hung it in the river. "What are you doing that for?" asked the snake. "My nose is all out of shape," said the elephant's child, "and I am hoping it will shrink." Then a fly landed. The elephant's child's shoulder. He lifted up his long nose and smacked it away. Look! Now what he did with this? You can now touch everything with splat. He is playing with the mud. In the afternoon, the snake asked, "Isn't the sun hot?" "Yes," said the elephant's child. He scooped up some mud from the river bank, said the splashed into cap, all tricky behind his ears. "Ha ha," said the snake. "Again you couldn't have done That with a mermaid nose. You're right, said the elephant's child. And now I think I'll go home to all my dear family. So the elephant's child went home, freaking and whisking his new tail. If then he bited all tails and all tails come back. Look. The elephant child bit all the noses of the elephants and came out of the nose. He knew he will also pull that nose. When he went fruit to eat, the pulled it down from the tree. Swish went flies bite him. He broke off the branch of a tree and used it as a swat. Racket, like a racket. We also use mosquito racket. Elephants use the tree trunks and do like this. They stick your feathers and hold the right and go around like that with his suit, his new trunk. When he felt lonely, he sang loudly to himself down his trunk. Done. The story is done now. Sorry, but I have to swish. Well, sorry, this is on. I not forgot. When he reached home, the elephant's child uncled his trunk and said, "How do you do?" "Indeed," said the hairy uncle, "the bamboo. It looks very ugly," sniffed his bird and the hippo. "What have you done to your nose?" asked the tall uncle, the giraffe. "But it's useful," said the elephant's child. He picked up his hairy uncle, the baboon, and dropped him into the thorn bush. Bush, bush. Look, here is the thorn bush, bush. Here is it. Then he trumped in the ear of his tall uncle, the giraffe, and blew bubbles at his bird and the hippo. The new nose was so useful that all the elephants hurried to the banks of the Limpopo River, borrowed new noses from the crocodile. They went in the shop and crocodile said, "Can I pull your nose?" The crocodile do like it. Ever since then, all the elephants you will ever see and all those you won't have noses precisely like the trunk of the satiable elephant's child. The end. The story is finished. I hope you